My name is Amy Bond, founder of Pole and Dance Studios. You are listening to Up the Pole podcast, where I interview studio owners to discuss all things building a pole dance studio business. Thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoy the show. All right, guys, welcome to Up the Pole podcast. My name is Amy Bond, your host, and I am here today with my guest, Dr. Jamie Elchert. She is a physician, a nationally recognized pole athlete, and the founder of the Memorial Pole Championship, a competition that is a growing and respected event in the pole dance community. Jamie brings a rare blend of precision and creativity to her work. As a medical professional, she understands the body in depth, and as a pole dancer, she pushes it to perform in powerful and artistic ways. The competition that she founded is named in honor of her sister Casey, and is much about excellence as it is about community and meaning, with a scholarship fund that supports others in Casey's name. Jamie, you're truly someone who lives at the intersection of science, sport, and storytelling. And I'm really looking forward to talking to you about how you are like this Renaissance woman in so many different spheres. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited about the competition that me and my team are building and kind of what we're bringing to the pole dance community. So I'm happy to chat about it.
Awesome. So your pole competition is called Memorial Pole Championship. And how long have you been operating? Where are you located out of? What is the inspiration for this? There's so many questions I have. To date, it seems like the one big competition is PSO. And I'm so curious about how other smaller players get involved in that space.
Yeah, so I am located in Columbus, Ohio, and we had a pole competition here for a long time at the Arnold Sports Festival. Pole
Oh,
Championship Series used to be here.
okay.
They had their last event in 2023. And when they announced that they would no longer be running a competition in Ohio, a lot of people, including myself, were very disappointed about that. And I feel like I was just angry for a couple weeks. And I just thought to myself, why don't I just do it? Like, if I want a competition to be here, like someone needs to do it. I can do it, I think.
Yeah.
And my parents started a scholarship fund after my sister passed away in her name. And they used to run fundraisers every year to fund that scholarship.
Wow.
As they've gotten older, they've been unable to run any more fundraisers. So the scholarship has just been operating on the funds that have already been raised.
Mhm. And
And
what is the
so,
scholarship fund for? It's in the name of your sister Casey, who passed away. Was it due to a truck
yeah,
driver falling asleep at the wheel?
Yeah, exactly. It was a car accident. She passed away when she was 18. And
Oh my
so the
God.
scholarship is awarded to two seniors at the local high schools in the town where we grew up, which is a small town in northern Ohio. So it's awarded to two seniors that show excellence in both their academics and their extracurriculars. So people who are involved in their community, but also doing well in school and planning to go to college.
Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. I did not expect to start crying this early
I
into
know
the
I
podcast, but
cry like every time I talk about it too, but I really wanted to do something. I just, the competition left, I just had this idea, like it just came to me, like I could do this and I could make it a fundraiser. Like this is what I can do.
yeah, that's
And so
so
that's,
beautiful bringing those two pieces together.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh. How many competitions have you run?
We've only done one. So I registered my business at the very end of 2023, but
Hmm.
we did not have our first event until March of 2025.
Okay, so I'm curious, did you register the business as an LLC or as a 501c3
Yeah.
because it
So,
has this like give back
yeah.
component, or how did you make that decision?
So we're actually probably going under a little bit of a transformation.
Uh-huh.
I registered as an LLC to start out with
Okay.
because it's inexpensive and easy to do.
Yeah.
So technically we're registered as a for-profit business right now, but we've made no profits. So
Yeah.
like I
That's
haven't,
fair.
I haven't paid any taxes anyways. But now that we have actually some revenue, I am in touch with a lawyer, and we are looking into the process of
Converting.
restructuring
Oh,
and converting and trying to get 501c3. I
C3
always forget.
status.
Yeah, C3
So many
status.
letters.
That is
Yeah.
possibly in the works. Like I'm still weighing the pros and the cons of it. But it's looking like we'll probably head towards restructuring that way. When I started the company, I was completely self-funded, and
Hmm.
starting a pole competition, I mean, it's not as expensive as opening a studio,
Sure.
but it does require I had to buy, a truss and poles and pay the rent on the theater, and so it was a lot of money up front.
You bought a
Um,
truss?
yeah.
That's so expensive. That's like for anybody listening, I think that's like 60 to $120,000 depending on how
No,
big it is.
it
So,
was 20 grand for a competition
okay.
truss. So
Still,
not
that's a
as
lot of
bad.
money. And then you have to
Yeah.
store it. So you're paying for a storage facility, I assume. Oh my God.
Well, luckily I live in Ohio, so I have a
Okay.
two-car garage. And so it's stored in my
Fair.
garage. So in the beginning, I had to put a bunch of money up front to even start the competition, and I just did not have the money to hire a lawyer and go through that whole process. So
So then
I'm
what
getting
did you
some.
do?
It was my money from
Okay.
my
Personally
bank account,
funded. Yeah.
personally
Okay.
funded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the first few years of any business, it feels like you're pulling money out of one job you're doing to pay for the other job that you're doing, and all with the hope of $0 net worth someday, far, far in the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really curious how you marketed this event. How did you spread the word? It seems to me like a very different event than something like the Arnold. I think they pitched themselves as like whole as elite sport within the realm of bodybuilding and other elite sports that are a little bit more established and known. Whereas, this is an outside perspective looking in. um, Memorial Pole Championship looks to be more like similar to like a PSO or a pole dance competition for pole dancers. Or is that incorrect?
No, I think that's exactly how I marketed it as
Hmm.
a competition. Yeah, by competitors for competitors. So
I
I
love
think
that.
I took my experiences as a competitor and took the things I loved from the various competitions that I've been to and tried to incorporate that into Memorial Pole Championship. So we do
Wow,
allow competitors from any level, novice to elite.
I love
There's
that.
no submission video. It's just like first come, first serve. I actually didn't really have to do a ton of marketing. I feel like the word got out pretty well just through my own social media.
Cool.
And I started out our first year in 2025 was just a 1 day competition. I didn't want to overcommit and then not be able to like pay the rent for the theater.
Yeah.
So we just
Jen.
started with a 1 day competition, and our registration sold out in a week, actually. So
My
I think
God.
people are really hungry for a competition. I think with judges that are well-known industry leading professionals. We had a live MC who announces like the competitor bios before they come on stage.
Cool.
And I feel like I just really tried to give the competition a more personal touch and make it a special experience for people. And I think that's what a lot of people are really looking for in competitions.
Oh, that's so cool. So it sounds like Ohio or Columbus has a lot of studios in it. Did you feel like it was easy or not easy to kind of rally the different studios to collaborate and kind of spread the word about this competition?
I feel really lucky. In a lot of places, there's tension between various studios, studio owners, things like that. I teach at one studio here in Columbus, but I attend classes. I train at multiple studios, so I
Oh,
know multiple studio owners, and everyone was very supportive of the event.
I love that.
Um, and so over half of our competitors were from Ohio. We did have a good amount of out of state people, but of course the majority of our competitors were from Ohio. So I did get a lot of support just from being in the industry here.
That's awesome. So, in terms of like starting the event, it sounds like it went off without a hitch. You got community support immediately, registration sold out within a week. Funding was maybe not easy to get externally, but you could fund it yourself. And it sounds like it relative to starting a studio or a different kind of business, not so much capital required to get started. What were some of the challenges that you faced as you've gotten this competition going?
in the beginning, the biggest hurdle was like, how are the polls going to go up on the stage? I had some experience with like building websites. I wasn't too concerned about managing participant registration, communication, getting the judges. Those things seemed relatively easy to me,
Hmm.
but I had no idea how I was going to get a trust, let alone put it up. So that was the big hurdle. What I did was I reached out to a lot of competition owners, particularly the owners of Carolina Regionals is a
Oh,
small competition in the South. I reached out to Colleen Jolly, who runs International Pole Convention, and so I
love
just reached
her.
out to all these people to figure out like where did you get your trust? And everyone was super willing to help.
I love
I
that.
initially got a quote for renting a trust, but renting a
Hmm.
trust in Ohio is going to be very expensive because no one has them around here.
Transportation and
And
all of that.
so I was looking at 11 grand just to rent. And so, yeah, I ended up buying a truss for 20 grand from a company called Vertical Arts Dance. They build custom trusses for competitions and for studios and for people's homes. So,
That's incredible.
the other thing I would say is like I just had to get used to everything going wrong. Like if
Yeah,
something
I
could
love
go
that.
wrong, it went wrong.
Yeah.
So, for
Hmm.
example, we did a training day where people from Arts Dance flew out to Columbus to train us how to put up the truss.
Okay.
So, I wanted to get the truss loaded up in the U-Haul the night before that day, and we go to pick up the U-Haul. They have no U-Haul for us, despite the fact that
No.
I reserved it.
Oh no.
Apparently when you make a reservation with U-Haul, it doesn't mean they will actually have a truck for you.
Oh, good to know.
So that led me to driving all around Columbus for about 2 hours to find a U-Haul.
Oh my God, you must have been freaking out. Oh,
Then the next day, so I had rented out an elementary school gym to do our training to put the
oh,
truss up
cute. Oh, I love
because it
that.
was going to be obviously it was much
A
cheaper
lot of
than renting
space.
out the theater for a day. So we show up to the school on Saturday morning. The doors are locked. There's no one there to let us in.
Oh no. Oh no.
So I call security at the school. I'm like, I have the rental agreement for the day. Like, I have the email from the principal. They're like, sorry, we can't let you in.
Oh no.
So
So did you
luckily,
do it
like,
outside? Where'd you go?
we did it outside. We did it in the parking lot of the elementary school. So it's just like things like that. I learned very quickly that I just had to roll with the punches and become a problem solver and just figure things out.
Oh, that's amazing. And you do. I feel like being a business owner, the number one thing I've learned is like when shit hits the fan or things don't go well, it's like, okay. There's like a very zen reaction after 10 years of running pole dance studios. It's just, you kind of just
Yeah.
like stopped freaking out because you just know everything's going to go wrong. And I kind of think that's a superpower.
I think that having all of this happen made me like really think about the day of the event
Yeah.
and try to foresee the
Yep.
issues that were going to happen on the day of the event and come up with plan Bs and
Yep.
Cs. So
Yeah.
the day of the event actually went really smoothly.
Was it a lot of, hey, theater owners, reminder that we have an event in 2 weeks? Please confirm, like
The
that kind of thing?
That was an issue with the theater actually because
Oh my God.
they had never had an event similar to this. They're
Yeah.
like a community theater, so they do a lot of community theater events, concerts, plays, things like that.
Hmm.
And I explained to them this was an all-day event. There would be competitors going all day long. But
Yeah.
I don't think they realized they would have a crowd there the whole day long. They were just like not prepared despite me telling
Interesting.
them what
Okay.
it
Yeah.
was going to be like.
Yeah.
Little
Totally.
things like the bathrooms ran out of toilet paper. These are things I didn't think about beforehand, but now I know that I need to make sure the theater is on top of servicing the bathrooms during the
Hmm.
day. Small things like that. So we definitely learned a lot in the first year as well.
That's amazing. The things like that, it's hard to anticipate.
Yeah, yeah. But now that we've done it one time, I think I have a much clearer idea of everything that needs to be addressed. So,
Yeah. So from the competitor side, it sounds like things went really well. From the actual programming side, things went really well. I'm very curious about the financial side of things, as you said, you were, kind of paid out of pocket. I assume like doing a loan to get the competition started. I also saw on your website that you have quite a few sponsors. So, what is the breakdown in terms of how much money do you expect and hope to get from sponsorships, from competitors paying their entrance fee, from the different revenue sources? What are those
Yeah.
beyond sponsorship and competitor fees, and what do you want them to be, the percentage wise?
Yeah. So
Hmm.
the competition itself is funded by three main revenues: the competitor registration fee,
Hmm.
photo and video package sales, and
Hmm.
spectator tickets.
Okay, got it.
So the goal for me was to cover the theater cost with the spectator tickets. So we were
Okay,
able
got
to
it.
completely cover the rent of the theater with the spectator tickets, and we made a little more on top of that.
Hmm.
And then I wanted to basically be able to start paying off my loan
Yeah.
with the registration and video photo packages, which we
Okay,
were
got
able
it.
to do as well. So
Wow.
I'm projected to break even probably in 2026, if not
Hmm.
2026, definitely 2027.
Hmm.
Um, Beyond that, the sponsorship money right now, 100% of it is going to the scholarship fund.
Got it. So that's
So
the breakdown. All of the costs and hopefully eventually a margin is paid for by registration fees and spectator tickets. And then the vendors and sponsors go towards the scholarship fund.
exactly. So right,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
exactly. That's exactly it. Obviously, once my loan is paid off, then I'll be able to put more money towards the scholarship fund. Quite frankly, there's not a lot of money to be made in pole competitions,
Yeah.
especially if you're going to be just running one event a year.
Hmm.
And especially for me, I have a day job.
Yeah.
So for me, this is really about like the charitable aspect, and anything I could potentially make from running the competition just isn't
Meaningful
going to be
enough.
meaningful
Yeah.
enough for
That
me.
makes
Like
sense.
it's much more meaningful for me to put it towards the charitable cause. So
No, that makes sense. And I wanted to ask about having a full-time job and running a business on the side and teaching and you compete. How do you balance it all? I think that's the quintessential question probably for every modern American human. But yeah, how do you balance all of that? So much work.
I mean, I'm not 100% at everything all the time. So
Yeah.
right now is kind of the time of year where I'm not doing a ton for the competition. So I will start sending out judging contracts in the next month or so. I'm doing a couple social media posts here and there. I've been talking with a lawyer about 501c3
Yeah.
status. I'm actually touring another venue that we may potentially be looking into for future years. So I'm doing like a couple little things, but it's not a ton. Right now, I'm only like 10% focused on the competition, and I'm much more focused on my own training. After registration, there's going to be a big chunk of time where I'm organizing competitor registration, and then even more so leading up to really the bulk of my work is in like the 2 months around the competition where I'm having to collect everyone's information, make the event program with everyone's biographies, finalizing details for judging, travel, things like that. And that's when
Yeah.
I have to take back some time from my own training and focus more on the competition. It just is what it is.
So that's where you take the time from. When you are in full competition mode, the time comes out of your own personal training.
Well, some of it, I would say, majority of it actually probably comes down to my social life. I'm kind of like not a super social person to begin with. So I'm much happier to be working on my computer on my couch by myself in the evening
Yeah.
than like going out and doing things. So I'm
Honestly,
happy with it.
I do feel very similarly. I think this is actually a quite common thread um, in people who are competitive pole dancers. We really actually like spend a lot of time by ourselves trying to figure out a thing, whether that's a business thing or a tricks or a sequence thing. And I
Yeah.
think there's something really fun about that. That if somebody was on the outside looking in, they'd be like, "That looks boring," and I'm like trying to figure out
Yeah.
whatever the thing is.
Actually, I really love all the behind the scenes, the logistical stuff of the competition is definitely one
Mm.
of the things I love about it. And I'm not, again, like a super social person. So day of event management was something I was very concerned about. So I actually brought in an event planner,
Oh,
and
nice.
she was invaluable
Yeah. Oh,
because
awesome. What
she
what did she do
ran
exactly?
she ran the entire day of the event. Anyone that had an issue went to her. I
Oh,
got to
nice.
sit up with the judges and just watch the competition all day.
Oh,
So it
wow,
was
that's
great.
awesome.
I also had a really good stage manager making sure
Oh,
that the
awesome.
competitors were running through in a timely fashion and everything was running on time. So I think just having people on your team who you can really trust to
Hmm.
outsource the things that you don't want to do yourself or can't do yourself is really important.
And then are these roles paid roles or are they volunteer positions? The event manager, event person, and the stage manager.
Those are both paid roles. Yes.
Okay.
I did depend on a lot of volunteerism,
Mm-hmm.
obviously. So the people who helped me set up the trust got free registration to the competition,
Got it.
because
Oh, amazing.
that was a big commitment.
Yeah.
They had to come to the full training day and they had to be at the event the night before to put up the trust. So that was a big commitment from them. I quite frankly would not be able to operate without volunteers to like clean the
Hmm.
polls, run the check-in desk and things like that. But the volunteers who do those roles get free entry
Yep.
to the competition.
Oh, awesome.
But anyone who with a more significant role, we had an MC, stage manager, our judges, a day of event coordinator, all of those were paid roles, and
Oh,
that's
cool.
really important to me to be able to not only provide pay, but I want to be an industry leader in
Yeah.
providing fair and competitive pay for these for these things as well.
Definitely. If you don't mind me asking, and you don't have to answer, how much do judges get paid? Are they judges who are flying in from somewhere else? Are
Yeah,
they local judges? There's issues with each. Local judges can often be seen as biased because the whole community is small. We all know each other. But then judges
right.
coming from someone else, it's additional costs. So I'm curious how you decided on picking judges.
Yeah, judging is a big cost, but it was very important to me to have a panel of judges that I felt was really kind of top tier because
Hmm.
again, like, this is a fundraiser. I want to make money, but
Yeah.
I also want this to be an exceptional experience for competitors.
Hmm.
So we flew in Phoenix Cosray,
Love
Sam
her.
Star.
Love
So
her.
Phoenix is from California, Sam Star from New York. We had
Hmm.
Paige Olson from Arizona,
Cool.
and then Meg the Supernova from Cleveland. So she was the
Ah,
only
she's
one in
amazing.
driving distance.
Oh, wow.
I have a four-bedroom house, so we
Nice.
were able to keep most of them here. We were able to save costs on lodging kind of that way. But certainly their flights and pay was a big chunk.
Mhm.
I don't want to say exactly because
Fair.
various judges negotiated for different pay.
That makes sense.
But what I can say is that for year two, we are offering higher starting pay for our judges. So I'm proud of that.
Awesome. I'm curious, is there demand in even an area like Ohio where poll is quite robust for multiple competitions each year? It sounds like you're sold out. Is there a PSO in your area or is it farther away?
No, the closest competitions would be PSO in Chicago,
Hmm.
or DC, depending on where you live in Ohio. So Chicago's about a 5.5 hour drive, I think,
Oh,
from
that's
me.
far. Okay,
So
got it.
yeah,
I've met quite a few people who kind of grumble at the competitor fees for really any competition. And I think
I
there's
know.
the sense that competitions are killing it. They're making so much money. And hearing your experience, like that's probably not the case.
I
What would you
used to
say to
be
those
that person.
people? Oh, really?
I I
I
used
love
I
that.
used to be the competitor who would go and be like, these are too
Uh,
expensive. Where's all my money going?
yeah,
Like, I used to be that person. And now that I run a competition, I will never complain about registration fees again
yeah,
because um, I know what the margins are like and they are incredibly slim.
yeah,
So I think in our first year, we made like $3,000 profit
yeah,
in that year
yeah.
alone. So we're still net negative, but for the year of 2024, we made like 3 grand. That's not
Yeah,
a lot of
not a
money.
lot.
People online will, point to other competitions like Pole Icon in Australia, for example. They don't have a registration fee at all,
Oh, wow.
but their competition is by invite only. So they get,
Oh,
big names. They get the big names like Beth
yeah,
Finley and Miss Billy, and they
yeah.
sell out. I think they sell out like a 2,000 seat theater.
Wow,
So
that's
they
huge.
can make all their money through spectator tickets.
Hmm.
Whereas if I'm running an amateur competition, the only spectator tickets I'm selling are friends and
Friends and
family.
family. Yeah,
So you can't compare apples to oranges when you're
no.
looking at competitions. You have to compare
Mm,
similarly sized and matched competitions in terms of
yeah.
the skill levels, who they're accepting, who they're not accepting.
I think the thing that is the point of confusion when I read those same kind of comments on the internet, and the internet is not the healthiest place to engage in like public discourse, but I think the thing that is the underlying assumption that people get wrong is that the spectators are not the consumer, the competitors are the consumer. And I almost think that competitions would just be better off saying that out loud. This is an opportunity that we're providing to you that costs us a lot of money. And so you are purchasing that experience from us.
Absolutely. There are so many different people in the pole community who are all doing their various different
Yeah.
things in the community for different reasons. And, there's people who will say, well, pole competitions, they don't provide anything. They're not getting me famous. They're not paying me money. So I'm not
Yeah.
going to do them. And like, that is
Right.
a perfectly acceptable opinion to have. But as far as a pole competition like Memorial Pole Championship that provides an opportunity from novice all the way up to be on stage, you're absolutely right. The consumer is the competitor.
Hmm.
And there are reasons, like myself included, that we go to competitions that are not just fame and prizes. And so you may or may not have that drive to compete. If you don't, that's cool. If you do,
Yeah.
that's why competitions exist.
Totally. I would never start a competition. It sounds so stressful. It makes so much sense that you hired an event planner. It seems like that might have been the best investment from the outside looking in. But
I kind of knew I needed help,
yeah.
but I was kind of like unwilling to ask for it and I didn't really have the money for it.
Hmm.
But actually, it was a girl at my studio found out what I was doing and she was like, "Hey, I want to get involved." And I
Well,
was like, "I don't have any money." And she's like,
yeah.
"Well, I'll just volunteer." And so initially she was on a volunteer role. And then
Yeah.
after she was such a big help, I was like, "Okay, well, the
We've got to pay
competition's done now and we have
you.
money, so I'm paying you."
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, that's so nice
Yeah.
that it worked out that way. My experience with people who say they want to help is that it usually doesn't work out unless I like, okay, this is a financial arrangement. And then expectations just seem clearer to people when
Yeah.
it's a financial situation.
Think her goal was to make herself essential so I couldn't function without her, and then I would have to start paying her, which absolutely works.
I think that's a testament to you. It's probably more that she wanted to work with you and work on an exciting project with a lot of vision. And again, the component of give back and scholarship, like it sounds like so mission driven that people just like can't help themselves. They want to get involved.
Yeah, and I think that's for anyone who's wants to start a competition or thinks they would like a competition in their area. I think if you're going to do it, your main motivation should not be money.
Yeah.
There should be something else, like you should want to do it for your community to provide access to a competition in your community or for some other
Mhm.
reasons aside from just the finances, because
Yeah.
I think there's probably better ways to make money in the pole industry that don't require quite as much work and quite as much risk.
Yeah, absolutely. I do talk to quite a few studio owners when I do business consulting with them, and and many people who are considering opening a studio, their why has more to do with like I want to quit my full time job so that I can do this, and those are
Mhm.
the people I'm like, no, it's not that you shouldn't want to make money, but the financial reality of running a pole dance studio is that the margins are very slim. I'm curious, where do you envision the future of Memorial Pole Championship? Are there like new initiatives, expansions? Are you making it a 2 day event? In your wildest hopes and dreams, where does this competition go?
Yeah, so honestly, I haven't even let my wildest hopes and dreams like wander that much. My
Yeah.
goal is just to make the competition better every year. So in 2026, our next event will be a 2-day event.
Hmm.
We are expanding our judging panel, so we'll have a total of 5 judges. So there'll be 4 judges for all the amateur divisions and a full 5 judging panel for all the professional divisions. We do special prizes, so like best choreography, best tricks, best costume, things like that. We're going to add some more special prizes and hopefully a few other things. One of the things that I'm doing is improving the competitor registration process. In our first year, the way I got everyone's music and information was through a Google Doc,
Hmm.
but I'm in the process of upgrading the website now so we can get all that information through the website. So small things like that, but
Yeah, it
I'm
makes
hoping to kind of improve upon things every year and just make the experience better. I hope to eventually be able to offer cash prizes as well. I don't
oh
know if it'll
cool.
be in 2026. Probably going to wait till registration is done and run some numbers and see if
Yeah,
we can make it work.
awesome.
But if not in 2026, I'm really hoping that in 2027 we'll be in a place to be able to start offering cash prizes as well.
Awesome. And just before we wrap up, I'm super curious if you had one piece of advice for people who are interested in starting a competition, what advice would you give to them? Where should they go?
Yeah, my advice would be to focus on the big picture first. So
Hmm.
the big things you're going to need are going to be a venue and a truss or
Hmm.
somehow to house your poles for the competition. Once you can figure those 2 things out, the rest is quite easy. Finding judges, people are super interested in judging competitions. Setting up a website. I didn't pay anyone to set up my website. I did it myself. But I think also reaching out to other competition owners if you're really interested. I reached out to Colleen Jolly. I reached out to the owners of Carolinas Regionals. Oh, I also talked to the owner of US Pole Champions, Deb White, as well.
Oh,
She gave me her contact for event insurance. I think everyone in the industry was super willing to help me. So
my gosh, that's great advice. I think talking to people is also one of the most invaluable things that I did. The people who own studios before I opened my first studio, like, what should I think about? And they knew. And again, and same as you, people in the pole community and the fitness industry generally, I think, are just so eager to help like the people coming up next. And so it's great to hear that you also have that experience. And I would
yeah, absolutely.
wholeheartedly agree. Well, Jamie, you are such a powerhouse in the world of pole.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited we got a chance to talk, and thank you for coming on Up the Pole podcast.
Thank you so much.
Bye.